Hello, amigas, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. Okay, like I said prior, we had a prior recording, and of course, in my Jackieisms, sometimes I think I'm actually recording, and then it turns out that I'm not. But like I always say, you know what? God is always leading the way, and this is the reason why, because we needed to meet again, right,
That's
Jeremy?
it. That's it. That's it. The universe wanted us to meet again.
Exactly. So I'm excited and it is recording, amigas. So, Urmi, welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. Thank you so much for being back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And every time, like you say Amiga, or like when you were sending me the email, like it shows like Amiga, and every time I had this like urge of saying hi Amiga, but then I never did. I just like responded to you by saying hi Jackie, but like you have such a nice name because I feel like people just wanna like say Amiga, how are you, Amiga? Like it's just you just get into the mood.
Yes, yes. I completely agree with you. And part of the reason of this podcast is it's very about friendship and what you tell your amiga, your friend, is like, "Hey girl, we could get this done. Like, let's do
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm going to help you
Mm-hmm.
handle it." And so that's the whole vibe that I want to project onto the universe as they listen to the podcast because it is about that. It's about that energy that you show up with
Yeah.
and how can we as the conduits of this energy just propel it to magnify across the globe. And so it's so important to have amigas such as yourself, you hearing these podcasts and coming and shedding light what you are all about. And so with that in mind, I want amigas across the globe to understand that you are not from LA, you're not American. No, far from that. So, Ermi, rather than me explaining, why don't you tell amigas across the globe where you're from, all the things, because it's a wonderful, wonderful background. So please take it away.
For sure. Honestly, I wish I was in LA, but now I am based in Canada. And for those listening, so I am born and raised in Italy, and both of my parents are from Bangladesh. So I am what we call third culture kids. I have lived a big chunk of my life in Italy. And I moved around a lot. Like I went from the south to the north of Italy, then went to the UK, came back to Italy, moved to Canada. So I'm pretty global in that sense. And now I'm based in Montreal, where it's very cold. We have a lot of snow, cold weather. It's just not good, but we survive and thrive. So here is where I am right now.
Yes, and you have a lot of experience, just culture wise. You have a lot of different experiences. You got the Italian, you got the Bangladesh, and now you got the Canadian. So I'd love for us to explore because I know that, you know, as a career, you've been in the financial markets and then you started getting more into empowerment. So tell us, who is Urmi? Like, how did this all come about?
Yes, for sure. So I am a very proud woman in finance. Like you said, I do work in the financial services industry, and it's something that I'm very, very proud of. Like I love being in finance, and I love working in finance. It is my it's my first love, as I always like to say. And then what came is my other side, which is my creative side. This is where I explore a little bit of my creative aspect, but at the same time, it allows me to work on my storytelling. It allows me to express myself, to be expressive, and also to build human connections. So I am the co-chair of an organization called Women in Leadership. I am also a female mentor, and I am engaged with like different organizations here and there where they need like mentors for 6 months, and then the cohort finishes, and then there is another one. So I go into the next like organization that is looking for mentors. And one of the organizations that I am part of right now is called Dress for Success, which is also based in Montreal. But I'm pretty sure even the states might have an like a chapter because someone was telling me about it. And basically, I'm very, very like I'm a big advocate when it comes to women empowerment, and it's something that comes again from my own personal story of how I've seen women treated, especially like in the South Asian culture. At the same time, how they're seen also in the Western world. It's not just like in the South Asian part of the world, and also how women are viewed in general. Like we always have to prove ourselves. So this is why I'm part of like different organization and I mentor women.
So, in your mentorships, I know you've done a myriad of things in your life, and I know that from my recollection, you're also an author.
Yes.
So tell us, how did that come about? Because I know empowerment has is a big window, right? But it's like not everybody is an author. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so you're right. Empowerment, I feel like empowerment can take many forms, and I feel like I show that with the different hats that I wear, and one of them being a self-published author. So here's the thing. I never thought I was going to like write a book 4 years ago. I know eventually it was going to happen, but I feel like it's on the to-do list of many people. And it was also on my to-do list. Like eventually I was going to write a book. I just didn't think it was going to happen in 2022. And what happened is back in the days, I was going to a lot of podcast shows where everyone was asking about my experience in being a culture kid. So everyone was fascinated about this story about me moving from one place to another, my parents coming from another place, more immigration stories. And I saw that as like a demand. And so I was like, you know what? Probably I have to like write it someone. So I decided to like make it concrete by
Mhm.
writing my book, which was self-published. And it's just a recollection of my own childhood, teenagehood. And I talk about my experience as a South Asian woman who is born and raised in Italy. And I make a comparison between the South Asian culture and the Italian culture and how it was for me to fit in, how much I was really trying to fit in. But at the end of the day, I was also honest to myself that I did not look Italian. And at the same time, I also did not feel like I was fully Bengali because my mentality was very Western. So I make a comparison between the two. And at the end of the book, I'm just giving this message where I embrace my two identity, my two cultures, and I tell the world that I am Italian Bengali.
Yes, no, and it's not very often, I would think, that you have Italians and Bengalians like together, like as you know, I would think so. I'm not sure. Tell
No,
us.
you'd be surprised, honestly. You'd
Mhm.
be surprised if you, because when my parents moved from Bangladesh to Italy, it was we were talking about the 90s. So they moved from Bangladesh to Italy. They went to Sicily, and they were, I think, one of the first families that moved from Bangladesh. And then little by little, other Bengali people started to come, and so everyone was, was settling down, having family, and so forth. So there was a big community of Bengali people.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of Italian Bengalis. Yeah, there are a lot of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, now I know. Now I know something new.
A lot
So
of
I tell us a little bit of an experience as being Bengali and Italian. Like, is there are 100% Italians different from 100% Bangladeshis, or how does that work out? Like how or is it the same? Because like I'm just gonna say about my example, I'm Mexican American, right? But in the Latin America, there's a bunch of other countries. And while I'm Mexican and I can like understand the whole Mexican vibe and stuff, but if I go to Central America, it's going to be different for me. So I'm wondering, was that different for you in Italy?
You know what? So the two cultures are very different, but are also very same for certain things. They do share the same value when it comes to family, for instance. Like I
Mhm.
noticed that. the importance of like celebrating, festivities together, coming together, getting together to eat. Like this is so common, like in both cultures. In older generations, like in Italy, I remember, like if you go to someone's house, they feed you like there is no tomorrow. It's the same thing for the Bengali culture.
Oh,
Like if you go to someone's house, trust me, you're gonna get out that you're like very full for the next couple of days. So in that sense, there are so many like things in common.
mhm.
And in the Bengali culture, for instance, one thing that is very common is like, for instance, when you get married, you live with your in-laws. But I noticed even in the Italian culture, like older generation, they used to do that. Like you won't be living under the same roof, but you're living under the same building.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like in that sense, they're similar, but in other things, they're very different in the sense that, Italians, they follow a certain religion. For South Asian, like typically Bengalis is like Muslim. So, you already have like differences there.
Yeah.
In the things that we eat, which comes from religion, is also very different. Like for instance, Bengalis don't eat pork because they're Muslims.
Oh, yeah.
We eat a lot of rice, for instance. That's crazy rice and curry. That's like everywhere. Whereas Italians, they eat a lot of pasta. So that is like quite different. Um, I remember some instances, and I talk about it also in the book. Like I went to a school that was strictly like it was basically a school in Italy,
Mhm.
and the school had a church inside, and then there were nuns walking in the church, and there was like crucifixes in the classroom. And I remember me going there for the first time, wondering why are people like getting on their knees and praying? This is what I wonder as a 6 years old.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember like seeing nuns and wondering, who are these people like dressed like that? Why are they like covered from head to toe?
Right, right,
So I had those questions, but I never like asked anyone. I just kept them for myself.
right.
So when I was writing when I was writing the book, I was thinking about those moments which are super vivid in my memories. Like they're so vivid. I just like as if like they happened yesterday.
Right, right,
And
right.
so these things they stayed with me. So these are some of the differences, that comes from religion, some parts of the cultures too, how women are viewed. But even in the Italian culture, like I can see how maybe in the older generations, like girls were not allowed to go out. Like I talked about this with some of my colleagues who are like in their 60s, and they were telling me how when they were growing up, they were not allowed to go out, and it's the same thing for the South Asian culture too. Maybe times are a little bit different,
Yeah.
but and also like even in the Italian culture is very protective for the culture, and it's the same thing for the Bengali culture, very protective.
Mm. Well, it's almost like there's more similarities than differences, right?
Yeah, when you think about it truly, yeah, there are like quite a lot of similarities.
I wonder if it's because, warm cultures. Same thing with same thing with Mexico. Like it's like that. Like, people come and visit you and they want to feed you.
Yeah.
Or you get to spend the night at their house because they want you to spend the night at their house. So they really want to make you feel at ease as part of the family. So it's very nice to hear that it's pervasive, at least in Italy and in Bangladesh.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is like that. Maybe some of the things have changed through time, but I think the value of like family and getting together, it's like quite present.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. And just so that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you the name of the book so that people can buy it. What is the name?
It's called Discovering Your Identity, a Rebirth from Interracial Struggle.
Ooh, amigas, you heard it here. So we can buy it on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Now, is your family still in Italy?
Now they moved to UK.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
See, I mean, UK, Italy, Canada. I mean, it's like all over. It's like
Spread.
global,
We're just
spread all over
spread.
the place. Yes. Okay, so you were in Italy and you received your education in Italy, or did you come to Canada for education?
No, I did a big chunk of my education in Italy, and then in Montreal, I did my university.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
so then you just stayed in Montreal.
yeah, yeah. I do
Oh,
have the Canadian citizenship, but I never told the world I'm Canadian. I just don't feel it. I don't know why.
ah.
I don't feel it from
It's
inside.
not
Like
a warm, it's not warm. It's
it's
cold.
not, it's not, it's cold, it's cold, it's so cold. So that's why sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But when I go, like when I travel around the world and people ask me where I'm from, I'm really struggling because I don't know what they mean. Is it the place where I'm like living right now, or is it where I'm from, or is it where my parents are from? Like I really struggle with that question.
Yeah, I think just growing up, at least on my side, it's I've always I lived all over LA and at Los Angeles, California. And they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" Like they always want me to claim a certain city of LA
Hmm.
County. And I'm like, "I can't tell you because I've been all over." So I can see what you're saying.
It's
I,
hard.
it is hard. I think sometimes I would say that people will want to know, like, based on the color of your skin, I think that's where they're getting and they don't want to be rude. I know that when that happens with me, I'm like, okay, do you want to know? My parents are from Mexico. So we let it be that way. But,
Yeah.
I just like, now I just say I'm from LA. I mean, come on.
You know what? Here's the thing, because I also struggle with this question because another thing, like people ask me where I'm from, and then they ask me, "Oh, where did you grow up in Italy?" And that too is hard for me because I live like south, north. I went like
Oh,
abroad, came back, and it's hard. And sometimes you don't want to spend time like explaining yourself. You just want to make
right.
it quick and easy. And I don't. I sometimes I don't have a shortcut. I feel like I just
Yeah.
don't.
No, no. Well, I mean, and it is, yeah, we don't have cuts in our lives. We're women and we're here to be outlandishly ourselves. And in doing so, there's no shortcuts. Can't, no, no, not at all. Oh my goodness, amiga. So now you're here in Canada, and so you're in the financial districts, and give us a day in your life doing being in the financial community because I'm like, you're doing empowerment and you wrote a book and I know you have a podcast. I'm like, where do you have the time to do banking and finance?
You know
You know
what?
what I mean?
Everyone asks me that question. I feel like there is no dull moment in my life.
Mhm.
And there's always something I look forward every single day when I wake up. Like I really look forward to waking up and getting my stuff done. And usually, like I do have to work in the office. I do have a 9 to 5 that requires me to be fully present in the office. So my day to day is really like waking up, taking the bus and the metro and starting the day. And I usually take my lunch hour to really like get my steps done. Like I'm really into like getting my 10,000 steps per day. So I really take time to like step out of the office, go for a walk, browse in a bookstore. And as soon as I'm done with work, I always have something to do. Always, every single day of the day, I have something to do.
Yeah.
But it's quite spread out throughout the week. Like there's one day where I'm like, let's say, working out. There is another day where I'm having the meeting with my team about women in leadership. There is another day where I do Toastmasters. There is another day where I go and do boxing. There is another day where I'm just doing recording. So it's pretty spread out, and then the weekends I really take it to really disconnect.
Mhm.
And I am usually working on like writing articles. Maybe if there's like a personal project that I'm working on, I usually take that time. But I also take time to do some self-care, like I'm like, let's say, baking. Maybe I'm doing some journaling. I'm going for a workout. Like I'm not taking any like calls or recording because I'm like, no, that's the time for myself. It's not
Yeah.
negotiable. Like not
Right.
negotiable. Yeah. And even with my work with my day-to-day work, I also make sure that there are like boundaries there. Like after five
Yeah.
o'clock, I'm like, bye bye. Like I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I make sure that it's not negotiable,
Right.
like my time for myself. Like it would be Like for me, that would be an issue, like if I'm requested to just do additional hours, it would never happen, honestly. But I know that it's important for me to have that 5 to 9 just for myself. Yeah,
Yeah, I that is important. Boundaries are challenging for many of us
they are.
because if we're people pleasers, I mean, there you go, boundary cross because we ourselves can't tell them like, no, we don't have time. Well, I don't have the bandwidth because we feel badly. But you do have that boundary. And how does that feel for you? I think it's very important as a woman to have that.
Yeah.
But how do you do it?
Do you know what? I had to listen to a lot of podcasts about boundaries, and I also had to like read about healthy boundaries and why it's important to put them. And the thing is, it's not enough to put them, you have to reinforce them.
Reinforce
That's
them.
one thing that, you have to constantly remind yourself that, okay, you said no one time, but if it happens again and you want to protect yourself, you have to say it again. Like you have to make sure it's like reinforced. And at the beginning, it was quite uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, here I am.
Like especially like if it's your boss, like
Yeah, with you know what? I'm quite lucky that I have a great like boss and we do have a great relationship, and I think we share the same values in that
Mhm.
sense, meaning that, for me it's important that, there is work, but it's not everything. Work is
Mhm.
not my life. Work is not my purpose. Like I love it. I love being in finance. I'm very proud about it. But there is also me outside of that. And it's important for me to cultivate my time and putting my resources to working on the women that I want to be known for or the women
Mhm.
that I want to be eventually. And so this is why I always like I talk about personal branding a lot where I say there is you working for a company but there is you as a person. And I think it's important that you detach yourself as well from that. Like you want to work on investing in yourself and developing yourself as an individual because yourself will be like you will always carry yourself no matter where you go to work. But if you are only known for Urmi working for X, Y, and Z, and you are, let's say, one day let go, then I feel like you just lose yourself because your identity was so tied up to a company. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see that we definitely have to be very much personal branding number one,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because yeah, to attach yourself to, like for instance, like I can attach myself to being a lawyer and that's all I do.
Hmm.
But how about if I can't practice law? Like, what else? What's next, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I read an article about this teacher who basically taught for all his life, and then he had to retire. As soon as he retired, he felt like he lost his purpose in life because it was like I was always a teacher my whole life, and now I'm not sure what I'm doing with my time. I feel a void, and I feel like that's
Oh,
an issue.
yeah.
That's an issue.
Huge. I think a lot of retirees when you don't have that personal brand
Yeah,
and you place so much value in your job, it's when your health declines.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
it's
a
supposed to be the happiest time of your life because there's no stress, bills are already getting paid. I mean, so I feel it's such an important message to have as a young person
mm-hmm,
because that way you will always have something because you are living your purpose. You're living your passion
that's it.
versus you're living paycheck to paycheck or because it's a job. And then when that's done, then what happens? Right?
Yeah, and I do think people don't take time to reflect on that. Like we're
Mhm.
so sucked into the routine that we forget to think.
Right. Yeah. It's so true. Especially, I mean, from my opinion, it's when you become a parent and then you're married and you have it's just like compounding on all kinds of things. So,
Come on.
it's it's an easy way for you to understand, the compounding interest. What I mean?
Yeah.
It's so much, it's so much. Okay, so amiga, I know that we've touched upon a lot of the things here. What's next for you? Because I mean, you already wrote a book. Are you gonna have a
Mhm.
second book? I know you have a podcast. I mean, it's just the world is your oyster. What's next for you?
Let me tell you this, there is no end to the things you can achieve. That's how I like to think about it, and I like to keep my options open. I would eventually like to deliver a TEDx
Oh yeah,
one day,
yeah.
one day will happen, one day. And I want to continue doing the work that I do with women in leadership. We have an event happening on the 8th of March, and we're working hard on it to relaunch the chapter. And we're planning to bring the women in Montreal, build a new community. We want to have a panel session, speakers, networking event. So we're looking forward to that, and we want to continue like growing that chapter and have more and more members. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, is this chapter, well, it's just specific to Montreal.
This one, yes, but the
Okay.
actual organization, Women in Leadership, is based in Canada. So each city has its own chapter. Like Toronto has one, Ottawa has
Right.
one, Calgary has one. Like each city has its own chapter. Yeah, but we all do the goal and the purpose is the same. It's the same mission at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's fascinating. I wish you a lot of luck. I mean, you said
Thank
March
you.
8th. So perfect timing because we'll be able to put that in the show notes.
Nice.
So, do you have a link for us so that we can place it in there in case people want to sign up?
I have a link to the website. The event, I'm not sure if it's yet out. It should be, but
Okay.
definitely I can provide it to you.
That would be excellent. So, amigas who are in Canada, definitely go check them out. Okay, so before I let you go, amiga, I always ask my amigas if they could provide 1 to 2 tips. What say you?
Okay, so so I have two tips. The first one is to invest your time in to invest your time in yourself. Like take time to read, take time to listen to podcasts, take time to really cultivate your knowledge and to get more knowledgeable. And the second thing is to have more self-trust.
Mm,
We don't have enough of it. It's very easy for us to, tell this to other people, but it's important that we tell ourselves that I can do this. I'm good at this. I'm strong, like to always believe in yourself and build that self-trust that you already have.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, it's very important. I'm sure that you have that self-trust that allowed you to do the book, the podcasts, the banking, everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try. I always tell myself I can do this. I have to write it down. I'm all about like positive affirmation. I write it down so it's in my head. I rewire my brain to think that way, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Definitely. Is there anything you would like our listeners to know about you?
I love pasta.
Yep, the Italian in you.
I love pasta. I love pasta. I can eat pasta all day, breathe pasta, never be tired of it.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I mean, I enjoy pasta, but oh, I keep thinking about the calories, the carbs. I'm
No,
like,
who
oh my God,
cares?
who
No, who
cares?
cares? Who
Just
cares?
enjoy it.
Just
Just enjoy.
enjoy it.
But
Yeah.
no other area does pasta like the Italians in Italy.
Yeah.
It's so fresh.
It's so good.
Yes. Do you know how to make fresh pasta?
So my dream is to have a machine to make fresh pasta, but I don't have space to do it.
Hmm.
And so I usually like I buy the pasta and everything, and I follow a lot of recipes, and sometimes I just get creative also with the way I make my pasta, and it's my comfort food. Like every time I'm sad, I just make a plate of pasta, and life is great afterwards. I'm telling you, it is. It really is.
Yeah, no, of course. It's like it's your favorite food. I know for me, it's like I love having margaritas, spicy margaritas, that is. So I'm like, those have a lot of calories, but they taste so good and refreshing.
Exactly. Exactly. No. We
The
deserve
joys of
that.
life, the
Yeah.
the joys of life, right? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, Amiga. Well, I am so grateful that you came back here and we have this conversation and I know that a lot of women will resonate with what you're saying and I just love what you're doing and please keep it up and let's continue to stay in touch.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for being on Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. See you soon.